it's Gamer Ahmer here. So with the holidays coming up, this time is the time of the year when everyone makes that list on trying to find the next big thing or even some things that they wanted throughout the year. So back in the 90s, this was one of my favorite times as I received one of those big toy books from Toys R Us, and I got to go through and pick out whichever game, toy, or anything else that I wanted for the holidays. So today we're going to go ahead and relive those memories by looking at this Toys R Us The Big Toy Book from 1996. One of my all-time favorite years, as this really sparked the joy of my video game collecting and playing those games. So right here, where holiday magic begins, let's go ahead and check out this thing. So here we have this Toys R Us Where the Holiday Magic Begins, the Big Toy Book. So this also provided tons of coupons that you could actually get on some of your favorite toys. So right away, this page brings back a lot of memories, as I always wanted to do the Nickelodeon Super Toy Run sweepstakes. So this is actually a great little throwback. Everyone wanted to go on a 5-minute shopping spree, try and win all of their favorite items, just collect and grab as you go. So that's definitely a cool little throwback right there. So here we have all of these coupons here for tons of different batteries, different toys, and everything else. We have tons of Barbies on this page here, even some Hot Wheels at the bottom. We even have some more coupons. Some of these are for Barney. We even have right here some of those Batman toys. I used to love collecting those back in the day. So this is definitely so cool to see this whole entire page, this whole catalog without even being, ripped apart and drawn on. And some of these vehicles that used to be a blast to play in. We have all of these different board games here. We even have some of these Toy Story Mr. Mike tape recorder. That was a big thing that I remember. And of course, some of the pages in here actually get a little bit better as they show you a little bit more specifics about some of the toys, not necessarily all of the coupons. Of course, everyone always wanted a bicycle so that you could travel to and from your friends' houses. Right here, we even have some SEGA games on sale, but not the ones that you may remember. These are the SEGA Pico. We have PC software, so we have some Barbie and Toy Story games, even some more video games here. So here we jump right into the catalog. So these are all of those different holiday Barbies that a lot of people used to get for the holidays. Then we have nothing but Barbies here. This Dream House playset, the radio control Roadster. We even have the Barbie minivan. Just all of these different accessories for your Barbies and your dolls. So next we jump onto this page here. So we have the Choosy Meals Baby All Gone. So some of these were just so different, and it's just crazy to look back on some of these, as a lot of these toys have definitely advanced over time, and now they kind of hone in on specific brands. We have these Cabbage Patch Kids Bath Babies. I think a lot of these toys here, a lot of my cousins actually had, so I saw them growing up. The Star Castle Tea Party, Disney Cinderella's Enchanted Castle playset. So if you definitely wanted to have some of those Disney princesses, all of these plush animals, I actually got some of these back in the day. So I remember watching Barney growing up and having some of these. I think I currently own a couple of these as well, and some of them are from my childhood. Now we have some more plush animals on this page. Does anyone remember Bananas in Pajamas? I used to watch that all the time. I don't know why. I think it was more my brother, but we used to watch that. And who remembers those Converses from back in the day? I used to wear those all the time. The Easy Bake Oven. Of course, I always wanted the other version, so I wanted to create my own creepy crawlers. We have just all of this stuff here, like these little jewelry kits and everything else. Right here we get onto some cool things. Who remembers having these slumber tents? So I remember seeing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. I remember having different bed sheets of Batman and Spider-Man and literally anything and everything. So here's some sleeping bags here. Of course, we have the Space Jam was the big thing, 101 Dalmatians, even this really cool Toys R Us exclusive, the Buzz Lightyear rocket tent. That thing looks really cool. All of these different toy boxes. So then we have all of this Play-Doh stuff. That quickly got banned in the house. So this page right here, I remember playing with some of these. I think my brother, we had this little Great Adventures castle with all of these little figurines. But I would end up using this castle with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters and Batman characters and anything else and everything else that I could actually find at the thrift stores, at the yard sales, just wherever I could find these amazing deals. And then we get into Toy Story here. So this was by far one of my favorite movies. I used to think that all of my toys would come to life. You have this cool Viewmaster, which I have a few things like that for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have all of these different Mr. Potato Head. You have the Slinky Dog. These are just so cool, seeing all of these different little toys. Of course, we have these glowworms. I remember some of those from back in the day. Some of the Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. We have some more of these little tykes. We have these Toys R Us exclusives, back when they used to get some of the really cool items just exclusive to their own store. And then everyone wanted one of these Power Wheels. So I loved playing in these. We used to race around and just kind of roll all over. Of course, when you're younger, you get these what they call snuggle bugs. But everyone always wanted to go a little bit faster and have some of these little four-wheeler style vehicles, and of course they have all of these fancy ones today. And then all of your bicycles here. Some more outdoor play sets. These were definitely the coolest, where you could actually just play in this big playhouse. I believe I've seen all of these growing up and at least had them at my house or my cousin's house. And then moon shoes. These were a big thing back in the day. You always wanted to jump on these. This guy looks pretty cool with this Nerf Cyber Strike Defender. Don't think I ever got one of those, but we did have Nerf guns that me and my brother used to play. Of course, we had all of these as we used to play baseball and stuff. And then all of these roller skates. That was the big thing. Always wanted a basketball hoop that I could play with outside. We did have one in one of the alleys growing up. All of these different little pool tables. All of these board games here. So you have some for Mr. Potato Head, you have this Penguin Shuffle, Electronic Ants, the Gold Turkey, Gator Golf, Monkey Madness, Ellie Fun, I think I remember that, and then the Chicken Limbo. Now, I used to want all of this stuff here, like the Nickelodeon stuff. I wanted the Are You Afraid of the Dark, the game. I actually did get this one, and then I also got tons of Goosebumps ones and everything else growing up. So that's definitely cool to see a little throwback. These karate fighters here, those look pretty awesome. And then we even have this wrist board game, these grip games that you could actually play with. I remember these here. We have those cool Space Shooter Spitfires. Yak Back was a big thing. So those were actually pretty cool. I think I actually have one of those. You have the Yak Time, the Yak Back SFX. Even this Toy Story Mr. Mike tape recorder, I remember that and wanting that. That was actually pretty cool. And then seeing all of this other stuff, this Haunted Highway, all of these different little racetracks. I think we even had a couple of these little, racetracks with the little slot car action. That was definitely a fun time. All of this stuff here. Dr. Dreadful. The Legos, I had so many different Lego sets. I had all of these like dragons and vehicles and different Lego sets. I loved putting those together and finding a spot to display them. Connects and these other kind of building things. We have all of these different trucks and vehicles. I definitely had a RC car. Mine you could like flip both ways. I had a really fast one as well. So these are really cool to see, as I probably circled a bunch of these back in the day. And then we get into this stuff here. So this is actually pretty cool. We see some more Toy Story here. All of this Batman stuff. It says time for action. We have the Batman Forever triple action vehicle set. I actually have that now. So this is the Batman Forever Batcave. I would love to have this from Kenner. This is so cool, having all of this stuff and building your own playsets with all of these little action figures back in the day. Definitely one of my favorites right there. And then Power Rangers and Marvel toys. I used to collect all of the Power Rangers. I wanted to pretty much be a Power Ranger. I wore all of the different costumes. I used to wander around the house in some of the Power Ranger costumes, these robes and things that I had. Even all of these Spider-Man toys. I used to have all of those. These are these big Action Time heroes. So these are pretty cool. It moves and makes sound. Then we have Star Wars. I loved playing with these toys as well. Even Godzilla. We have some more Hot Wheels. I used to have, I think I even had this one. So this is the Hot Wheels Crisscross Crash Set. So you had to kind of zip them through, and you would hope that they wouldn't crash, but secretly you would want them to crash. So that was pretty cool. Micro Machines, they had them for everything as well. Alright, so here we're getting into some of the fun stuff. We have these VHS tapes. And then we even have these Goosebump books. We even have this Sega Pico here. So this is definitely really cool. Seeing all of this stuff, as I really don't remember this. I might have been a little bit older and playing the real video games instead of these electronic learning-based video games. So having a full set of these Sega Pico games today is really awesome. Right here we have this telescope. I used to be fascinated by science with these microscopes, telescopes. We have all of these different games here. And then we even have this page, which is pretty cool. We have this Wonder Tools Cruiser. Now this page is by far, this would probably have to be my favorite so far. I went crazy on the video games back in the day. I wanted a SEGA Genesis. I ended up getting one years after, and I was able to get one from, I believe, a yard sale, and it came with so many great games. So seeing all of these awesome, sports titles, Sonic games, even seeing this Nomad, I didn't even know about that back then, but I love mine today. Even seeing this Super Nintendo ad with all of these great games here, like Donkey Kong Country, all of them were spectacular. Tetris Attack was fun. Mortal Kombat, even Kirby, I loved the Kirby games. But this page right here, I got a Game Boy Pocket for one of the holidays, and I was so excited to get the Game Boy Color later. But this is actually very cool to see here and just see some of these games. Of course, when Pokemon came into it, that's kind of what really got me into it. We have these Sega Game Gears. I don't really remember these from back in the day, but seeing all of these different games here is pretty sweet as well. There's CD-ROM games. PlayStation was a big thing. I remember my brother got one. I used to play all the time. We would play all of these fighting games. Street Fighter. You have the Twisted Metal series. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Just so many classics and great ones here. Crash Bandicoot. Spyro the Dragon. This is so awesome to see. All of these attachments. These little fight sticks. The racing wheels. I never got any of those growing up, but there were some of my friends that did. And then the Sega Saturn here. My cousins got one, and this was by far one of my favorites to play on. With all of those light gun games that they used to have, where you would get the extra little attachments, and you would use those light guns and just kind of act like you were a part of this game. We have the Sonic game here. Nights into Dreams. That was a real big one. We have Mr. Bones. Fighting Vipers. Virtual Cop. One of my favorite light gun games. I even own the arcade game. Then we have Virtual On. And then right here, this is what got me into having my own video game. Now, I played all of those other systems at my cousin's house, family member's house. Played my first console was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, my very first video game console that I actually owned was the Jungle Green Nintendo 64. So seeing this right here and going over some of my friends' houses and knowing that I could get one of these for the holidays, I went crazy. I played through so many different games. You'd have all of the different colors. I just wanted my own controller. I wanted to have a go-to. I used to play with the Extreme Green and mostly the Atomic Purple controller. And this is just amazing to see here. So this says Nintendo 64, the future is now. So who remembers around the holidays getting one of these catalogs in the mail, whether it was from Toys R Us, Sears, or any other place, going through, finding the items that you wanted, trying to get some cool coupons set aside, circling these items and giving it to your parents, trying to get these amazing items for the holidays? Who remembers going through these and wanting literally everything, but of course you didn't get everything as you didn't quite understand some of the prices and everything else? Well, this book right here was one of the ones that I actually went through. Now, I went through some in the earlier years and some in the later years as well. So if you guys want me to go through this again, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and find some more of these awesome Toys R Us toy books, these amazing catalogs that have nothing but video games in them, like the Nintendo 64. You have the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation 1, just so many classic game consoles in here. All of these games. Just let me know what you want me to go through. And of course, let me know in the comments below if you remember these. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.